So why would you want to grow a houseplant in the first place? That's a great question. Obviously, you being in this course, you have some sort of inkling, some sort of desire to learn how to grow something green. But what are the benefits of growing plants? Now, for me personally, as if you follow me on social media, you may see I often talk about the spiritual aspect of working with plants. So, what does that mean? Well, when we're working with plants, it's teaching us a lot of things. It's teaching us patience, teaching us persistence, it's teaching us consistency. Plants are going to just grow twice the size overnight. And that could be the case with, house plants, it could be the case with veggies, it could be the case with fruit trees. Plants take time. Nature doesn't rush, yet everything is accomplished. Lao Tzu. So it teaches us persistence. There may be times where, as you'll see later in this course, maybe some parts of your plant are dying. Maybe there's some challenges. You got to move in some different places. You got to figure out the language of the plant. And it's also going to take consistency because you need to take care of this plant. If it's in your house, it doesn't have access to rain. It doesn't have access to sun if it's not placed in the right position. So this is teaching us a lot of principles which can help be discipline for ourselves in our own lives. So I look at growing plants as a personal development tool to help teach me patience, to help me practice persistence and consistency, which then opens up the floodgates to utilize these attributes in other areas of our life. So those are my personal views, but then we can also get into some of the scientific side of things. So, I think that it's pretty clear that we are improving the quality of the air in our homes because we need different things to survive. Plants utilize carbon dioxide and give back oxygen. We utilize oxygen and give back carbon dioxide. So it becomes a cycle where we're actually supporting each other rather than us just emitting more and more carbon dioxide, especially in the winter, where maybe the windows are closed, so we're not getting fresh air in here. This is going to help to freshen up the air in our home, our office, or wherever else we have houseplants. So I pulled up a few different articles here that I want to share with you, just to kind of for the science-minded people to give you a little bit more concrete data as to what this looks like using some studies. So here's number one: indoor plants may help reduce stress levels. A study published in the Journal of Physiological Anthropology found that plants in your home or office can make you feel more comfortable, soothed, and natural. So I'll just go over the very basics of this. They found that the indoor gardening task lowered the stress response in participants. The computer task, on the other hand, caused a spike in heart rate and blood pressure, even though the participants were young men well accustomed to computerized work. So basically, they were having people given two different tasks: reporting a health plant, repotting a house plant, or completing a short-term computer-based task. So basically, between those two, you can see that working with the plant, it was actually more beneficial than working on the computer. So number two, real plants may sharpen your attention. And then this one says, sorry, plastic plants won't help you pass exams. But in a small study involving, again, this is only 23 participants, researchers put students in a classroom with either a fake plant or a real one, a photograph of a plant, or no plant at all. Brain scans of the participants showed that the students who studied with real live plants in the classroom were more attentive and better able to concentrate than students in the other groups. Working with plants can be therapeutic. Number three, for people experiencing the symptoms of mental illness, indoor gardening can be helpful. Researchers have used horticultural therapy to increase feelings of well-being among people with depression, anxiety, dementia, and other conditions. Although horticultural therapy has been around for centuries, it has found a modern expression. Medical clinics in Manchester, England, are now prescribing potted plants to patients with depression or anxiety symptoms. This is something that if I was a doctor, Dr. Rob was in the house, getting more plants in your life would certainly be something I recommend. And if you've ever worked with me as a client with my holistic lifestyle coaching, you often hear that I am recommending people use plants in their home, start a garden, grow your own food. And when it comes to growing your own food, we can get into the whole side of, oh, that's great because you save money, you have access to fresh food. But there's so many layers to working with plants beyond just the physical side. We have this mental, emotional, hormonal side as well. Number four, this is a cool one. Plants may help you recover from illness faster. Being able to look at plants and flowers may speed your recovery from an illness or injury or surgery. And it's interesting how oftentimes when somebody has an injury or a surgery, people bring them flowers. Is that intuition talking? Maybe. A 2002 review of the research revealed that people recuperating from several kinds of surgery needed less pain medication and had shorter hospital stays than people who weren't looking at greenery during their recovery periods. So it's important to note that most research focuses on plants and natural scenery in hospital settings rather than at home. Number 5, plants may boost your productivity. All right, so a little plant could actually be your best little assistant you've ever had. So, multiple studies have found that plants in the workspace increase both productivity and creativity. One frequently cited study from 1996 found that students in a campus computer lab worked 12% faster and were less stressed when plants were placed nearby. In a 2004 study, researchers challenged people to make creative word associations. They performed better when a plant was in the room with them. And a 2007 study showed that people with more plants in their workspace took fewer sick days and were more productive on the job. Why is that? Many of the reasons listed above. I think also having higher quality air. And for me, just having life around me makes me feel happier, makes me feel just more connected to the planet. It's not like I'm just sitting on a computer working. Right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants within my view, and I also have some flowers right in front of me. So to me, it feels like I'm more in a natural environment. Even just saying it out loud makes me happy to realize, wow, I actually have all that going on, and I've never really counted them that way before. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It definitely works for me, and I hope it works for you as well. So 2 more. Number 6, plants may improve your whole outlook on work. A view of the city park might improve anyone's job satisfaction, but it might surprise you to learn that a potted plant could have a similar effect. Researchers interviewed over 440 Amazon employees in India and the United States. They found that those whose office environment included natural elements like indoor plants felt greater job satisfaction and more commitment to the organization than those who didn't work around natural elements. Researchers said that the natural elements help to buffer the effects of job stress and anxiety. I think it's pretty clear. Humans came from nature. The more nature we can add to our house, the happier and healthier we're going to be. Now, number 7, plants may improve the quality of indoor air. Scientific support. Scientific support usually begins with a NASA study conducted in the 1980s. So this is basically support for the phytoremediation. That's a word for plants scrubbing contaminants from the air. So that began with NASA in the 1980s. Researchers then were looking for ways to improve the air quality in a sealed spacecraft, and they concluded that the roots and soil of houseplants reduced airborne volatile organic compounds, VOCs, significantly. Since those earlier studies, researchers have both confirmed those findings and called them into question. Recent findings suggest that you'd have to shelter a large number of plants to equal the air purifying efficiency of modern biofilters and other technologies. If you do decide to purchase houseplants to freshen the air naturally, there are several species that can be more effective. So one of the ones we talk about here, the spider plants, bamboo, ficus tree, rubber tree, Boston fern, dwarf date, bunch of different ones in there. But the point being with all this is that there's so many different benefits to having houseplants in your home, wherever they are. I think it's great to have them in your workspace or your living space, wherever you're spending the most amount of time. In your bedroom at night, you're going to have a higher quality of oxygen in your bedroom. I like to have as many plants in my bedroom as possible. Like I said, I have a lot of, this is my kitchen where I'm currently recording, as you can see by the background. So I have a lot of houseplants in the kitchen because I spend, a good amount of time in the kitchen. There's also a lot of houseplants in my office, a lot of houseplants in my bedroom. So anywhere you can have more houseplants, there's going to be a lot of benefits, as you've seen here. And I'm sure there are infinite more studies, but that was just one article with 7 studies that I thought would be good to outline there for you science-minded people. But don't forget the spiritual side as well. All the principles that these beautiful plants teach us. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching this video. This is actually a module that I had from the course, Houseplant Basics, your guide to healthy, happy plants, which is now entirely free on YouTube. So you can see the entire course. It's a mini course with a playlist I have linked here. And if you're into wellness, you're into gardening, you're into plants, Health Connections is the channel for you. So I'd love for you to subscribe. If you found this interesting, would love to hear what you like about it, what you'd like to see more of, and that really helps me to deliver the best content to you. So thank you so much for watching. Have the best day ever, and I'll see you soon.